once again, people, and welcome to yet another episode of, well, this thing, which basically is THRED. It's a THRED tutorial, I guess, if you consider bubbling around like an idiot to be a tutorial. But yeah, we did stuff. The first part we learned how to actually use THRED to the extent that we could make a very, very basic map. In part 2, we started improving on that, and we started adding a bunch of complex things. Doors, platforms, teleporters, all that fun little stuff. Water, you name it, we kind of started doing in the second one. This time around, it's going to be just some more random garbage, as we try and make ourselves have something that's actually pretty good. Yeah, watch this totally goes horribly wrong. So let's see here. Let's pull up the tutorial. That'll help me along as we try to figure out what exactly we have yet to really cover. That's anything important. Not too much really left for us to bother with there. But we also have some things I want to experiment around with, learn, all that, before we call it quits here. Like, for example, I have the curiosity to know exactly what happens if you put two brushes next to each other. Does it just become two solid brushes room to room, and you have to use like a subtract tool to get rid of the lines? Or what happens? This is a very important detail that would tell you exactly how things kind of go in a normal modeling situation. Okay, so we want to drag in and out this, so we have our little nice pretty zooms. Okay, there we are. More stuff. We zoom in. And there we are, 4 freaking views. Ain't that amazing? It's a new record for how amazing this thing can look. Okay, let's go in here before anything else, because otherwise I'll forget to do this. After all, the whole second part, we really didn't have anything pretty. So this part around, we want to make it a little bit more pretty. And I want to create it with a cube, and let's try and make it like a nice little long cube. We'll have something that's relatively small, but at the same time something that fits pretty nicely. Let's try like 256 by 256. Actually I want it wider on the height this way. Would that be... Well, actually I want it to be a long corridor. That's basically the idea here. It's a long corridor. So let's say 1024. Is that too much? Let's try it. 1024. Okay, so this is a freaking long corridor, as I kind of said it would be. But that's actually pretty nice. I like it. It works pretty well. Anyway, this is corridor number 1 of something. There we are. Whoop-de-freaky-doo, there's your corridor. You want it? You got it, my friend. Now, at the back part of this, right back here, you want to have another little entity thing. You want to, like, go to the entity dialog and put it in its spawn positions. That way we have something to spawn into. Otherwise, this is going to be a totally useless waste of time. Let's see here. Your info player start. That'll work perfectly fine. And then we take that and we go. You're back here? We want to pull you back here. And to do that, we need to use the entity movement tool. Like around here. That works! Okay! We're doing stuff! And we're doing stuff that's absolutely freaking amazing. This is like shooting out gold out your anus. Okay. Gold out your anus. There we are. Freaking amazing. Yeah, that was an amazing code name for a level. Okay, so now we're going to need to pull up my CMD again, just like we did last time around. And we're going to go to E, and we're going to go CD, Quick Mess, Aftershock, THRED, and we're going to go QBSP, Gold out your anus. Amazing. I don't think we're ever going to confuse what this level's about. Okay, let's go to Aftershock, put this in here. Oh wait, this is the THRED document. This isn't going to help me at all. Back to THRED. Replace this. I want this one. Okay, so we take this, we throw this over, and now we pull up DOS bots. I didn't even pull up the 64-bit, whatever. Oh my god! We need to pull up the 64-bit because 32-bit goes ridiculously fast. I think we learned something, people. The problem is the 64-bit lags like crazy, but whatever. Gold out your anus. Did I say it wrong or something? No, gold out your anus. Aftershock maps? What is wrong? Why do you not recognize my map? What did I do wrong? This is important to know, people. We need to figure out why I can't put gold out my anus. This has become what my life equates to. Gold out your anus. Map Doom. See it saying the same exact thing, like map gold out your anus. Could spawn server. Okay, what is going on with this? Why is this like broken to me? Does the player start? Okay, this way I oops. Oh well. Let's change this to Meep. That way it's easier to type. When in doubt, make it easier to type. Oh look! The world is freaking gray! And terrible! Why is the map gray? Amazing BSP! Why am I outside the world? Well, now I'll be outside the world, but before I shouldn't have been. Let's see here. Let's try and like get back to camera view and we gotta see what's going on here. Because I have no freaking clue. I mean, it looks like I should be fine. Why am I not fine? Did I ever make the physical block? Maybe I didn't. I could have sworn I did. I could have sworn I made the block, people. I'm confused. But there was a 3D freaking thing. Okay, save as Meep. It didn't like gold out my anus for some reason. I think this is a flaw of the editor. I couldn't do Meep. I mean, I couldn't do gold out my anus, people. I think Quake has something against gold being in my anus. If you haven't already realized that, it's definitely a big problem with Quake. It's a limitation of the engine, people, that we can't have QBSP Meep. Okay, there we are. Freaking amazing. Watch as this goes horribly wrong. I just want a level that works. I just want a level that actually freaking works. Why does this keep happening? Well, maybe it's because the outside is not solid. Wait, what? Why am I in a hollow cube that's gray? Why is the interior gray, people? It's like a hollow... Did I make it solid? That's probably what happened, right? I made it freaking solid. That would explain everything. We found out what happened, people, I think. Let's see here. Cube tool, solid. Yep. I did it. I freaking did it. Don't save it. I mean, it's totally useless to me now. Okay, let's redo the entire freaking thing. We've done nothing in 10 minutes. I know we are trying to do this all but I didn't do anything in 10 minutes. It was a total waste of time. We could totally restart and we wouldn't miss a single thing. But, well, now I showed you guys what happens when you make a solid object. Ta-da! See, this is not for it in vain. It shows you why you should do it. What exactly happens. It actually it works. I never would have expected it to actually work. Okay, but it just makes a gray void. Let's get that texture going. That, and then we want to make our cube. And this time around, we want to hollow out the cube. And we want to make it 256 by 256 and 256 by 256 before we change. Before we change this to say, instead of 156, we want it to be 1024 by 1024. Wait, no. We want 1024 on the Z side. And 256 on this side. Makes total sense, right? Hooray! I did something! Design all that amazingness. Look at this. This is amazing. Okay, now we want to solidify our object here. Hooray! It's shooting freaking rainbows! It's reading rainbow! Okay, now we can actually do stuff. Okay, let us pull up our info player start here. New entity that. Wait, no, I don't want a new entity. Okay. Close this. We want to take this entity here. We want to pull this using this thing here to about this spot. That's totally fine. As long as it's inside the world, I'm happy with it. Now this is where we kind of want to experiment. I basically want to take the cube that's here, and this is, where's the rotate tool? Are you rotate? Okay, that totally works. It flipped it 90 degrees. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. So what happens if I what if I pull it like this? So it's like exactly right where it ends. I mean, it's like overlapping even somewhat. Will it recognize this, or will it not? That's kind of the important part. I'm trying to figure out, people. I'm trying to figure out exactly what happened. So here we are. Add a brush, and this is the second brush. At 90-degree angle, which is pretty awesome if we're trying to actually make a little level here, because now we have a little bit of a complex turn. Derp. There we are. Derp. Amazing, right? Now, we'll do this, and we'll say QBSP derp. And that way, we get our derp there. Derpa derp. Herpaderp. Herpaderpaderp. But derpa there. Derpa there. Derpa. Congratulations. We were created the derpa experience. Okay. Now we can use this to derp around. Derp. What happens? Do we get a nice turn? Or we get a freaking wall here. I see. Even though their walls are right next to each other, it actually segments itself out. So you have no way to actually get through this. Unless, of course, I made a fake way to get through. But this is basically the problem here. Also, this is a really narrow one. I probably should have made it like 256 or so. So yeah, this was the experimental one. I just kind of wanted to see the idea. And now we're going to make something a little bit bigger. We're going to try and make something. I want to make something, people. This is for science only. It should not be attempted by mortal men. Mainly because if you're a mortal man, you're probably going to die before this thing gets finished. This is going to take a long time to make. Especially because it involves me. And that is always a bad sign. Okay, let's slide these down. We want to make this one have the texture of something. Derp. There we are! Congratulations, you have something there. Okay, now we take that, we make it into the brush we want. Let's say, what would be a good one? 256 by 1024 by 256 by 1024. Yup, and then like this, we want 256, and we want make it hollow, and that's our freaking level. Hooray! We made a freaking room. Are you happy? I'm not. Congratulations, people. We made a freaking room. Up next on our tutorial series, how to make a freaking door. Here's one room out of many. Okay, let us now move this, and by that I mean let's flip this 90 degrees. And now let's move this texture around. And we'll move it right around here. And let's see. We're trying to make something that's awesome and amazing and freaking gold-winning material here, people. This is absolutely amazing. As you see, we also fix the issue with our thing not resetting, right? We're using a different site. I think this is YouTube on repeat versus listening on repeat, which seems to work a lot better. Okay, so there we are. Look at this. We're doing absolutely freaking amazing. You know, this is like an artwork made. Did we solidify this yet? No. Okay, let's move you again. Rotate you 90 degrees, sure. And that way I can pull you up here. Because what would be better than a bunch of different textures? Solidify this again. And now, let's rotate you again. Are you going crazy over there, people, about all this corridor design stuff? I'm an amazing designer. I'm doing something on par with the levels of Q2 right now. Yeah, amazing. This is just like a Q2 level, how it be made. Okay, now we want to take a giant freaking area, and instead of having this a wide one, we're going to have the entire thing wide, about the same size, like 1024 by 1024 instead of the normal. And maybe even make this 512. This is going to be a giant freaking room. They'll have a bunch of enemies there or something. I don't know. Yeah. We're talking only the best people right here. Okay, so that's basically all that, which would be great except for the fact that this is probably not going to work too well. Q2! That will work perfectly fine, and we'll know exactly what we're talking about if I say it's the Q2 level. Export to Quake, Q2, sure. And I lost my CMD. Well, this is brilliant. Okay, so we go to E, we go CD, Quake Mess, Aftershock, THRED, and then we go where? We go to QBSP Q2. That's brilliant. Are you enjoying ESL, people? Because I sure am at this point. I just want to get this freaking map into something that's something. And that seems to be a complicated procedure. Okay, so now we pull this up. And map Q2, whatever. Yes! I forgot to play a start. That would explain a lot. Yep, I forgot to put in even the player start. Okay. You know what we should do? Make this thing look even more freaking complex. Look at that. Look what I just did. Oh my god, I just made an absolutely freaking amazing map. This thing's gonna be shooting gold out of its anus. Okay, so now we want to add an entity in this room. This is the player start entity, people. This ain't even normal entity. This is the best entity that could ever be created. I want to drag it all the way back here. How about the middle of this freaking room? Doesn't really matter. Let's save this as Q2. Let's put the Quake as Q2. And now we shall go back to Aftershock. Did I do a QBSP? Q2? Ta-da! There's that. So in case I forgot to, I did it. I did it, man. I did it. Okay, we pull this in maps, we put this in here, and look at that, it's a freaking map. Yeah, I'm the best person to have a tutorial with, huh? Huh? You happy? I'm not happy, I'm never happy! No! No! Yeah! Look at this. Look at this freaking thing! I made a freaking rum! You're watching freaking dead suckers tutorials, I hope you're freaking happy with yourself! Up here's a freaking rum. And it looks like we're gonna have to like jump like a superhero just to make it out of this room. Because I'm terrible at design over here. Yeah, this is gonna be freaking amazing. Of course, I could use the staircase always, but that is too complex for Q2. Yes, this would be a Q2 level thing anymore. We'd actually be doing something more amazing than Q2 would be. Yeah, so we'll have to do that. We'll have to make something that's even better than Q2, which is absolutely amazing. Okay, let's see here. Let's make a shear-based thing, whereby the top is larger than the bottom. Like, say, 512. Well, 256, it'll go down to 512 or so. That'll work. And yeah, it'll be a hollow area. I want to move you back. This is a freaking large thing. Like, it's really large in depth. Why is it so large? Like in this direction. I don't want it to be this large. Let's see here. Cube. Why is it so large? Guess it's because I did it in the Z direction. Y direction made a giant freaking cube. That would do it. Okay, let's see here. The X direction I don't really want a lot of. Well, the Z direction, what am I saying? So we're going to make this instead like... We're going to make this instead like... 64 and make it go down to 16 or something. I don't know. Okay, yeah, look at that. That's much better of a design idea right there. Now if we move this and we slide it out to here. The problem right now is if we subtract it, it'll destroy all the different walls. We need to make it smaller. So instead of 512, make it 256 instead. Maybe that'll help. And the top should instead be like 512. Wait, no, that's opposite what I want. I don't want it to get bigger on top. 256 out of 256 by 128. How's this? I'm trying to see here if it's like clip anything. I think it'll just be a problem. So what we want to do now is shrink it down slightly more than this. So like instead of what I have right now, make it like 200 by like 70? I don't know. That's a very sheer thing. I don't like this at all. $220. And also, I don't like the height, really. No, 512 is too much. 256? Now, the problem is with 256, it's still going to be, like, too high. We need to make it slightly lower than 256. So let's go, like, 230 or something like that. Just that way it's inside the walls. Let's go a little bit lower. 200. There we are. So it's inside the freaking cube. And let's make this side, instead of what it currently is, let's try and go for maybe 200. Just that way it's like this. That looks freaking amazing. Subtract it. It should work. Now, I don't get why it looks like it's carved away half the wall, but the other side of the wall is still like there or something. This is kind of confusing me, people. It's like the area between it should be carved out, shouldn't it? But instead we have like one little touch that's still there, like, oh, hi there, derpa-derpa-der. Herpa-der, herpa-derpa-der. So if this doesn't work, I'm sorry, but I have no freaking clue how exactly you even subdivide things in levels. This guy didn't exactly explain this stuff to me. And at this point, I'm really just trying to guess and hope I get something. So even if I do, this really wasn't the fault of the level tutorial. It was me experimenting and hoping to actually make more than one rum. Yeah, at this point, we still don't know how to make something the quality of Q2. Which is pretty sad. No wonder they were making terrible stuff. We had a terrible tutorial to work with. So that they would tell me how to select a brush or, you know, how to make more than one rum. You know, it tells me how to make complex stuff like buttons, which is nice, but honestly, I think I care more about making more than one rum. I'm sorry, but my priorities in life, I care more about making one rum. Okay. What happened? I did something, didn't I? Well, you can tell I did something. You can see like carved in slightly on that side. Look at that. That's all I did. This is all I freaking did. What was the point of that? Okay, let's come back here and we shall instead extend this in the Z direction. Instead of being 16 and being the small door, it doesn't really matter how long this is. So 64 by 128 or something like that. I don't know. Like this. Just that way it's thicker. Look at this. See, there's still like a solid floor thing right there or something. Like something solid between the walls. And look at that. It's like all carved in here, so I wonder why exactly it's textured like that. That's why, because it all is freaking right there. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, people. I don't know. I thought I could make it. I thought it would be simple enough to do. And it doesn't even seem I can figure out how to make a Q2 level. Not in this freaking thing. I have no idea how they did it. I don't know how to texture things to make it not look like Q2. I don't know how to do half the stuff I'm supposed to be able to do when I, finish a tutorial. I know how to do buttons and all the complex stuff, but that stuff is the kind of stuff I didn't really care about. I care about, having a rum. More than one rum. I can make an amazing one rum, but I think Quake is more than one rum, people. I'm sorry, but I don't think we're going to have much fun with the one room level. We can make the best one room level ever. Problem is we can't make more than one room. I just have no freaking clue how. Oh, well, look at this. I have divided the level to now be this. A thin line. Amazing, look at this. Look at what I have done. All because I extended the Z side. Which makes no sense whatsoever, by the way. I don't even know what's going on. I just wanted a wall! So the lesson here is subdivided faces don't work at all. Don't even pay attention to them. Yeah, I have learned my lesson there. Oops. I clicked something, I don't even know where the light went. Okay, let's see here. We gotta get stuff to work. Okay, so we need a light. We need this freaking light, and it needs to be good, and it needs to shoot freaking gold at us. Okay, if I move my camera back, maybe I can actually see what I'm doing here. This is kind of the only room I care about right now. So yeah, let's take this, and we'll move it over here or something. And then we'll duplicate this and create another one that's right over here. And there we are, a freaking lighted level or so. And in the middle, we'll create an enemy or so and have stuff like enemies. New entity. Sure. Let's throw up a... zombie. Sure. Let's create more zombies. Okay, let's see here. Zombie, zombie. We need another zombie. New entity, zombie. Now we need like 3 zombies in front of my face. And in order to fix this problem, we also will need to grab a freaking rocket launcher. So here we are. We'll throw this back here somewhere. Sure. There we are. Now we have a way to kill the zombies. Let's see what happens. Did we get a freaking level that actually does stuff? Export to Quake. Sure. Sure. QBSP. Q2. Even though Q2 doesn't even work right. Yeah, I can't even figure out how to make a map as complex as Q2 people. Isn't that a bit of a shame? I can figure out how to make buttons and all this complex stuff that Q2 didn't have, but I can't figure out how to make a freaking more than one map area with this thing. Yeah! Dude. You would think that'd be a bit of a thing, but, you know. You made it into rocket science. Congratulations. That's like the basic thing in almost any tutorial is how to make. Oh dear God! Oh dear God! Kill him! Amazing. And this is how you make a Q2 level style thing. You know what I forgot to do? Light Q2. Ta-da! Now we'll have it dark! Instead of having it as light as it freaking is. Now we go back to where we have THRED. We take a new version with our pretty lights. And we move this over. And this will be a much better light level. This will be a professional version of what we just saw. Yes! Now it's wander around aimlessly in the dark, trying to figure out what in God's name you're doing. You know what would be awesome, actually? To have these 2 lights in the corners, instead of it being randomly in the corners, let's have it, like, be lighting up the 2 things that are important, the zombies and the item. That'd be pretty awesome. So this one shall be, like, up here, but in the middle of the zombies. And this one shall be down here by this thing. So let's save this as Q2 and it's port to Quake. I don't know why I saved to, because really that's not really useful. QBSP Q2, light Q2, and there we are. Now I can actually pull this thing out, we can move it over, we can call it a day, we could say it's freaking amazing. And then I have enemies now in my level. Wasn't that totally worth another tutorial, people? I can imagine, right? Plus, we didn't really make it look this awesome complex last time, and now we've learned something about what exactly we don't know how to do. You know, now we know all the different stuff we'll never maybe know. The world may never know. So yeah, you pick up the rocket launcher from one lit up area, you shot at the 3 freaking zombies. Ta-da! Amazing, right? My level's amazing. It has the quality of some stuff we'll be seeing. Yeah, that's actually the saddest part, is that I made my level on par with some of the quality we'll be seeing later. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let's try and make a patrolling monster. Making the monsters walk around the Quake is one of the little touches which I feel sets one map apart from another. This is a fairly simple thing to do, but does require some explanation to implement in THRED. The idea is to create several path corner entities that define a path for the monster to walk. Link them together with the target and target name keys. Each entity should have both a target and target name. The target name is the name of the path corner, and target should point to the next path corner that the monster is to walk through to. If you link the last path corner to the first one, the monster will walk around that path endlessly until he attacks another monster or another monster. Okay, so we're going to basically create a nice little patrol for the freaking zombies to try and kill me in. So that way they're no longer able to be seen on that one nice little convenient area. I have to go hunt for them in the darkness. Brilliant idea, right? I love it. Let's do it. This is what you call brilliant design right here. So let's see here. We want to create a new entity, and it's going to be our path corner. Okay, you're going to create a bunch of path corners. This will be part 1. So like, say, like, over here. Sure. Now I do the same exact thing, because I can't just duplicate it. I'll have to actually freaking create the same thing again and again. Okay, 2. Entity dialog, pull this up, do a third path corner. Path corner, where's the path corner? Path corner. Okay, here we are. You guys can go over here. And finally, to path corner number 4. Basically make him walk around this little room. At least the upper half of the room, should I say. Where probably, by the time they turn over here, they're going to see the player and probably trying to kill you. But, you know, it's a patrolling path. Okay, so there we are. Set some lights to the different corners, too. This is a giant freaking room, so it needs a lot of lights, probably. Especially because it's also high up. That really doesn't help the situation any. It'd be a lot better if it was just down here. We'll drag everything down here for better convenience. So yeah, we drag everything down so it's near the bottom of the level. And that way it actually looks somewhat relatively decent lit instead of how it is currently, where it's like a horrible mess. Like, what exactly did I have for breakfast? Okay, let's see here. We're going to now try and play matter of which mystery path corner is this one? Is this like in order? Yeah, I think so. So it's going to go like basically this, in a four-corner way. So let's see here. So we're going to say new target. Call this T1. And we're going to create a new one that's also target name. And that's going to go to the next target, which is T2. Ooh, that gave us all four. That actually made it so we just have to specify again. That's nice. Okay, so we do this as T2, and this goes to T3. This one's going to be T3, and it's going to go to T4. And then we're going to do T4, goes to T1. There we are. Now, if you add the target key to the monster that you want to make walk, give it a value of the first path corner. So target T1. The monster will walk in the first corner, then walk around in the loop until he attacks. Alright, so if we take this, we're going to add a target to all these. So like new target, and make it T1. Target T1. Target T1. That should do it. This should cause the monsters to patrol around, people. Even though I don't know why I just did that, but whatever. QBSP Q2. Light Q2. Alright, there we are. Freaking amazing, right? It's like absolutely amazing simulator of what we could do. You won't believe, but we obviously can't because I can't really do much of anything. But, well, I did this. I said I was going to show you some monsters and real, and I did. So, at the end of the day, I'm happy with what I did. I did all I needed to do. Oh, dear God! Everyone's trying to kill me! Okay, this probably is a bad idea for spawn location then. Let's actually pull it all the way back here, maybe even like to the corner. And we're going to rotate it so that way I can actually look into the map. Anti-dialogue. Make the angle. What would be a good angle? 270? What would it be like? You want to say like 90 degrees as an angle, so that way 45, so you want like 240 plus 75, so that's about like 315 or so. Wait, 305. What am I saying? 315. That's too far. 305. There we are. Just that way they don't immediately walk into my patrol path. Yes, that was kind of bad. It's like, hello! You're all gonna kill me! How you doing? That was pretty awkward, people. So let's see our QBSP. Oh, QBSP Q2. Light Q2. And now we can pull this over. This amazing level that nobody has ever seen before until this moment where I'm revealing it to the world. Yes, this is what it's been taking all this time to make. This is what investment looks like. We sweated and toiled for this level, people. We spent 40 minutes trying to make a one-room level that's really horrible. So there we are. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. March of the freaking zombies. try and kill me! Yeah, this is why you want to like stand back here so I'll watch them like from a far distance. Whereby now they're patrolling around at an absolutely slow rate of 0. Oh yeah. This is going to take all week, people. Why did I choose the slowest enemy of the game? Well, it looks like these two zombies are actually stuck. Yeah. Look at it. This one zombie is able to patrol around. The other two zombies are freaking stuck. Is he going to make it to like the corner and actually turn? That'd be awesome. Come on, dude. You can do it. I believe in you. He turned! There we are. You wanted something that's entered THREDLEVEL, the most amazing level ever of THREDLEVEL. What a horrible level that was. Okay, next our list of things that we could probably do. Let's see here. Trains! I like trains. Trains work just like making monsters work, except you can make a combination of brushes follow the path. Funk trains will move exactly from path corner to path corner. Move through walls if necessary in order to get to the next path corner. To do this, associate a brush with a funk train, then add the path corner entities to place them in the map to define the corners that you want the train to follow. Now by adding a target key to the funk train, and giving it the same value as the first path corner, you can make the brush move around. Okay. Let's do this. We need to create a brush now. Amazing brush texture. Let's try this like by 50, by 50, by 50, by 50 or so. Like amazing 50. Four. It's a height. We want it very low, so the player can easily drop on it. I know I move around. I don't know I just moved around, but whatever. Alright, for a sloppily made level. Made by your host, Deathstalker. What's up with this cube? It's like higher. Yeah, the Y size is there. It's going to basically go through and you could stand on this thing and it'll fly around. Conceptually, this is freaking amazing. In practice, it might not be. Put this down near the ground so we can actually get on this thing instead of it, being too high. And now we shall add this brush to our world. I don't even know what's going on, people. Why did it add this weird plus-like thing? I don't know. I don't know how I even did this. But okay, I created a weird platform thing. This will actually be a nice little convenient thing to stand on. Okay. So yeah, now we fly around like this into the world of mystery and adventure. So all we want to do now is make this thing do stuff. Basically go to our entity dialog where you say funk train, right? Create a brush with a funk train. I thought I just clicked the select train button, but okay. Train. There we are. Amazing, right? Okay, now we'll reselect this thing. This is our amazing train, which we shall go into here, and we shall add a funk train entity to. This functioning entity shall be tied, associated with the selected brush, and this works, I guess. I really don't even care what half the stuff does. As long as it like moves around, I'm happy, ain't I? I think now I just want to target T1, right? That's all I know. Let's see. At a target key, you can make the brush move around. The top left front corner, bottom left from the front view of the brush, will move to exactly the position of each past corner. Okay. So like around here will be where exactly it moves to. The brush will start at the first path corner when the game starts. It will not start where you place it. You can use this to create a neat effect. You can put a train in a dark room, but place the starting brush next to a bright light. The train will be in bright, even though everything else in the room is dark. I see. That's interesting. But okay. Can I actually like, use this to select the brush? See, even when you select the brush, you can't move the brush. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm doing, and I'm probably going to break something if I continue. So let's try and just get this thing output, because I'd like to see this platform in action. Yeah. Freaking amazing. Let's get this thing out. So we can actually see it in action. I'd like to actually see this thing. God. If you can tell, I'm kind of worn out by this. It's getting very, very old the more we play with it. I definitely am glad this is kind of like the last part. Just because it seems like, you know, there's so many limitations that they're not telling me. Like, you know, how to make more than one rum. That would be awesome. But, you know, nope, didn't tell me that. Oh. Well, I don't know why this happened. Apparently I moved myself outside the level. Well, on guard! I want on the platform! Not off the platform, no! I want on the platform! Ah! New goal in life! I want to rocket jump onto the little tiny platform! This has become my new goal in life, people! There we are! Die! Look at this amazing thing. Oh dear God, it hurts! Yeah, look at this. I could have made it easy by making it flatter or whatever, but this is awesome. Now I rocket jumped onto a platform and now I can hurt myself. Whoop-de-freaking-doo. Whee! Well, there we are. That's a level. Okay, so that's really platforms and enemies, or should I say trains? They're called trains here. Even though, yeah, that makes no sense at all, really. Try calling it a train. It just doesn't sound right. Okay, texture alignment. Quake performs natural texture alignment. This means that everything aligns on the grid in Quake. This is good because it tends to make things look better. Quake also allows for texture alignment, but THRED does not implement that yet. Oh. Well, that stinks. Therefore, to align door, light, button, and other textures, you have to place the brush exactly on the grid that the texture is going to align to. This is further complicated by the fact that THRED doesn't tell you the exact size of the textures. You'll have to guess. Well, that stinks. But yeah, this is kind of like a future thing or so. to have like texture alignment features and all that fun stuff. Anyhow, let's say you want to use a texture that's 64 by 64. Create a brush that's 64 by 64 on the side you want the texture to appear on. Don't forget that all sides of your brush get the same texture. Now set the grid size to 64 and zoom so you can see the grid lines. Move the brush so that it's close to where you want it. Your goal is to make the edges of the brush line up exactly with the grid lines. You cannot do this with the grid set to the same size as the brush. So drop the grid down to 32, move the brush kitty corner so it's current position, then bump the grid back up again. You should be able to line the brush up exactly this way. Yeah, so basically absolutely frustrating and annoying way just to align the texture. Yeah, it's some weird automatic freaking texture thing that really is unintuitive. But it's a thing, and it's pretty much the only way you can do it in here right now. Not that we're actually going to make any effort at all to try and do align textures, because we can't even make more than one run. But yeah. Okay, so really all that's left to talk about is things we're not supposed to do in THRED. There are some things you should not do in THRED. There may be more. I'm not sure. Don't delete the first brush in the map. THRED keeps the brushes in a linked list, and removing the first brush causes it to crash. How do you delete a brush? How do you delete a brush? I don't even know how you do that. I want to do that now. I don't know how you do that. I'm not half of what you're supposed to be doing. Like, if I select something and delete it, does it work? I must find this out for science, people. Derp. Derp. Ooh. Look at that. I just deleted something. I just deleted something from the world. It was amazing. Amazing! I crushed everything! Somehow that was all seen as one texture, so I totally broke the map. Amazing. Okay, so we just broke that. Don't try the texture preview. It doesn't work yet. Oh yeah, I'm loving this. Do not do attempting that we're having fun with. I'm not going to need this anymore. Derp, 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 derp. Okay, so our level now is totally useless to us because it crashed, and that means everything is useless. Gotta love that design idea, right? So yeah, don't use the texture preview, which I don't even know where that is. There's amazing texture preview here, people! Where's the texture preview? I want texture preview. I'm not even sure what this is. Okay, let's see here. Where is stuff? You know what would be awesome? A way to actually save the name of my level. Like, I'm not even sure where the texture preview thing is that he's talking about. I have no freaking clue. But yeah, I have no idea, like... PSP Manager... Here's a lot of stuff I don't care about at all. Absolutely amazing. When you want to do stuff, you want to do it horrible, apparently. Like, look at all this stuff. Okay. Yeah, so as you can see, we could do a new camera, which doesn't help me at all. I don't even get the point of any of this. We could just move the window around. We could show the entities we have. We can place a light or have the entity. They're basically everything we've already known. Here's all our... We can basically create spears or cylinders. Do spears even work in Quake? Stupid question, I know, but do spears even work? I'm actually curious if a spear even works. Okay, now for a stupid question of the day. If I change the default texture to a spear, does it still work? We need to get 4 views. Oh look, that's amazing 4 views. That's not what I want at all. Okay, can we get 4 views now? I'd appreciate that. Thank you very much. Now we get a bunch of different views, and let's see here. I need to make this thing larger because this is a pretty small circle thing. Okay, so we need to make this, say, 1024 by 1024 by 1024. It's a giant freaking circle, but that's all that matters. And we're going to keep the defaults just because anything more complex might be too hard for Quake to render. And then we'll put like a player spawn in the middle of the whole thing. Yep, gonna have a player spawn. If a player start, new entity is that, and then drag this. Actually, the player spawn is going to start in the middle anyway, okay. And also, we have to add this thing to the world, or else it's totally useless. Unless, of course, that was a bad idea because, you know. And that's how you crush it. Amazing, right? Don't delete anything in your level, otherwise you have problems. Amazing. I love how much I can break in this editor. Okay, so let's see here. There's gotta be a way to, like, get this thing working. Okay, 1024 by 1024 by 1024. Congratulations. We're gonna make this thing hollow so that way it's not solid. We need to add to this thing a player start. That's a player start 2. I don't even know what player start 2 is. Player start. Whatever the difference between them is, I have no clue, but it's a difference. It's a big difference, apparently, obviously. They never say anything about doing player start, so it's like the boogeyman. If you do it, he'll get you. Gotcha. So if we say, like, BSP gotcha, QBSP gotcha. Oh, we need the map file too. Okay, so we do need the map file. That's important to know, people. QBSP gotcha. Oh, now it's gonna freak out about this. I see how this works. Okay, we need to redo the entire freaking thing because of that. Gotcha. And then we have here a QBSP file for this. Let's point it to Quake. There we are. QBSP it. Gotcha. And there we are. All our freaking map files. With our BSP file, we take this out. We extract it over to there. And hopefully now the circle will work. It's an amazing circle. I could have done anything in life. I decided to just make a circle. I like circles. Yeah. Look at this circle thing. Look at the circle! I can now run up the ramp as high as I can before I fall off. This trippy, weird square thing. Ain't this amazing? Now I have no freaking clue what's going on. Hooray for really horrible square sprites. Yo, this looks like Chinese origami or something. Look at this. Anyway, okay, let's see. Let's get that. Okay, back to trying to figure out what in God's name we're supposed to not be doing. Don't copy a brush that's associated with an entity. Wait, how do we copy a brush? How do we do half the stuff that we're supposed to be doing? I want to know how to do this. So, like, if I select the brush, can I copy it? That'd be awesome. So if I take this and I say, then I want to copy this. I mean, copy's grayed out. It's kind of part of the problem. I do things, I can't copy things. I don't know how I'm supposed to copy it. I don't even think it's possible to copy things. Like, he's telling me stuff we're not supposed to be doing, but I don't even know how we're supposed to do it. Don't try to select objects in any 3D window. You can only select objects in a 2D window. As for why you can't select a brush that's associated with an entity, the new brush house has secret brushes will be associated with the same entity. I once got a whole room to act as a door because of this. Don't worry if you can't find your group in the drop-down list. Use the arrow keys to scroll up and down on the list. Hooray for some weird bug or something. Don't click the associate selected brushes more than once. Don't release any maps that won't viz. You're a loser if you do. Don't cross with any green light. What's a green light? Don't freak out if your map doesn't look the same in Quake as it does in THRED. You made something too complex for THRED, and you need to go back and simplify it. Oh, well, that stinks. Okay, so he gives us some pages about stuff we could do on, like, information about Quake threads. Some different texture wads, some different awesome stuff like that. And which we can't really bother with at all. Yeah. That's it. This is freaking it. Amazing, right? Amazing. But it's not actually 100% done, because before we can get out of here, before we can say we're done with THRED entirely, I do want to go back and look at Basin. That was something we were trying to do in part 1, but we couldn't because we did not know about the group functionality and how that exactly applied to everything. So we didn't know that half the map was being hidden from us. Now that we're aware of this, we could go back and look at Basin and see that this right now is a bunch of weird X's that makes no sense whatsoever. Yeah. And we don't actually have the ability to change what we're seeing. Well, this stinks. Yeah, we can't actually change what's visible. We can't QBSP it again. We can't do anything. Did I say this is terrible? Yeah. This is totally useless to our objective because we can't modify anything. Like I said, we can't even refresh the level so we can actually see it. We can't even change what's visible and not visible in a level. Yeah, this is terrible. Well, we did it. We did it. As I kind of said at the beginning of this whole series, using THRED in 2017 is a really, really terrible idea, especially using the Aftershock version. Why in God's name would you do that to yourself? But yeah, we can kind of see just how bad it is now. Like I said, it has certain instabilities that makes this really a pain in the butt editor, especially since you have to do everything in one session. That really kills a lot. But to add insult to injury with the whole thing, it has pretty much a destroy your level button that makes things pretty horrible. If you try and delete anything from your level, you're most likely going to cause it to crash and ruin all your work. Yeah, it's pretty terrible. It's really, really terrible. I have no idea how to change more than one texture to a wall. I'm assuming all what I would end up having to do is like throw other textures on top of the first texture, which sounds absolutely stupid. There should be a way to just change the textures in the world. But, you know, overly complex it, right? Gotta overcomplicate that thing. But yeah, it's basically throw blocks on top of other blocks to make these blocks covered by other blocks, and somehow that'd work. Of course, that'd be totally complicated by the fact that we're going to probably have leaks because, you know, we can't align anything with anything. We have no way to align things here. Like, it really has, like, a really funkiness. I mean, we could have thrown the grid on, but we have no way to define what size things are, or, like, have any way to actually snap it, beyond the grid by using like actual physical things. We can't exactly like find out where this position is in the 3D world, which is a very limited thing indeed. To add insult to injury, we don't even know how to make a second room. Like, the tutorial didn't tell us anything about how to make a second room. And honestly, as pretty much it was even said in the tutorial, the subtract feature, which is pretty much what you need to do in order to make another room, is heavily bugged. To the point that you basically are pretty much messed over if you try and make a second room with this thing. I have no idea how people even make second rooms. At this point, I really don't. It looks heavily buggy. It looks like I have no chance at all. Like, when I clicked the subtract button around the brush that was surrounding the entire freaking thing, I got like a slight instep. That was all I got. Like I said, and I was kind of doing it like he kind of told us to do, whereby it was inside everything else. You don't want it like outside or else you get a giant freaking hole in your level. And that's pretty bad. So yeah, I tried doing it the way it was saying in the tutorial, and sure enough, that didn't even work. In fact, that's a big part of the problem. For some reason, even though we had a tutorial for it, half the stuff in the tutorial was like not even stuff that was relevant, and it didn't even work right. Yay! To make it even better, we had basically a BSP function that basically requires you to pull up your command line, navigate to the right area, and sets like a whole nother thing that could have just been done by having like a button in there. I mean, we have all these BSP functionalities inside the editor, but it can't just BSP it for us. No, we basically have to use DOS. I mean, we could have totally eliminated DOS by the time, like, say, like the Quake source ports came out. This would have totally eliminated DOS. But because of the fact that we need that line, we still need DOS in some form. Which stinks. It absolutely stinks. Honestly, I'm not even sure how, like, people like Windows 10 or something would do it. Because I think, like, there it changes it to PowerShell. Maybe you can, like, change it back to command. But I think it's, like, by default PowerShell. And I don't think, actually I think PowerShell has legacy commands or something, so I think it works. But yeah, honestly, like, PowerShell's a whole nother world, so just thrown onto this to make it even more crazy. So yeah, honestly, at the end of the day, this really was kind of really terrible. Yeah, this part really didn't have much to really show you. It just shows you how to make some enemies and make a platform. And we kind of failed on, like, almost all regards beyond that, because I was trying to make a level that was like Q2. I just wanted, you know, to have carved out doorways so we could run from room to room, you know, like in Q2. We couldn't even do that. We can't even figure out how to make more than one room. So, as it stands, we still have something that's worse than Q2, because the best we could do is one room. I mean, we can make absolutely amazing one rooms, and we could actually recreate certain maps. Because of that. But we can't make more than one room because I have no freaking clue how to do such. Like, even if you put two brushes right next to each other, it still doesn't see it. It still doesn't, like, carve away at it. And when you try to use a subtract brush with it, it doesn't work either. So, yeah. You would think this guy would have some part of his tutorial dedicated to two rooms. You know, because that's kind of an important thing to know about a level editor. But I digress. As I said, this is a heavily buggy version that half the things don't even work right. And yeah, that's pretty much one of the things that doesn't work right. We saw some nice crashes or so. Luckily, the crashes didn't seem too bad. Like, honestly, in comparison to, like, certain editors I've used, DrumEd, it's a lot more stable. Which is very convenient with the fact that as soon as we close it, we lose all ability to edit the level at all. So that's kind of a terrible trade-off, honestly. But at least we weren't ripped off, like, it crashed and we lost the ability to even edit our level. And we have to, like, we have, like, a time limit of 5 limits in which time we need to make a complex level because otherwise it will unlock us from it entirely. Yeah. That would make it even worse. But as it stands, it's still pretty frustrating to work with. Definitely not something I would like, after like the series, am I ever going to like touch again? I just have like no reason to, and honestly this is too frustrating to play with. I mean, there's so many better options you could use. If you're going to do something like this, use Quake Army Knife or something like that. Something that's a bit more intuitive and has a lot more of these options I'm kind of complaining about. This one, as it stands, really is like a very... It's limited by its age. That's the problem. It was really setting the stage for a whole new type of editor. And it has the 4 views. It has a lot of nice things that like later editors will use a lot. But it's still missing some very core aspects to make it really a nice editor. And like I said, with a very massive bug affecting it, that's a lot like Quake's bug for some reason. Yeah, it's pretty much nearly impossible to actually work with, I feel. Like I said, it's another one of those editors that you're like, thank God people actually went out of their way to make things with it. Even if, you know, the things they usually went out of their way to make were stuff that was like Q2. But, well, at least, you know, people put some effort into it. You know, like I said, you could definitely say, as a technical thing, whatever they did in Q2 is pretty interesting, just because how on earth did they figure out how to carve corridors? But, you know, beyond that, honestly, at the end of the day, it's just something that's, like, there. I don't even know how you change the name of your WAD. How do you even, like, do that? Every time I'd saved, it was enter in THREDLEVEL. I don't even know how you, like, change that using the constraints of the editor. Using just QBSP and this thing, I don't know how you change it. If I use a more modern editor, I know easily how you change or something like that. Usually there's a way just to change the name in the editor. But in these old ones, I have no freaking clue. It doesn't seem possible, which kind of is weird. So, how exactly do people change the names of their WADs back then? I don't even know. There's a lot of details that just aren't being told to us. And honestly, for like an editor that's supposed to tell us like some stuff, I mean, it's nice what they told us some of the things. I mean, I guess it's kind of important to know how to do like half the stuff that I kind of showed you guys how to do. But at the same time, it felt like there was massive chunks of this missing. Not like a minimal thing. No. Like how to make a second room, or how to change the name of your level, or basic stuff like that. That's kind of important to almost every level out there. These aren't like little niche things. I'm talking about very, very important things that are kind of needed in almost any level. Anyway, I guess at this point I'm going to say thank you very much, all for watching. I really don't even get what the point of basin is. What is even the point of basin? I can't even do anything with it. I can't edit it. I can't really look at it. It's just kind of there. It's there in a very horrible looking format because it barely works at all. Like, you can just kind of see from the wireframe what it is. But good luck trying to use THRED to actually do anything with it because it doesn't work! Yeah. It kind of stinks entirely. So yeah, a random map file you can't do anything with, and a texture file that's a really GIMP texture file for whatever reason. And other than that, really nothing at all. You had some stuff that allows you to make cool little things, which basically would equate out to like a test level, and basically what you want to do is make a giant freaking room just so you can make everything you want in your level. Because good luck trying to, like, make rooms or all that. Basically, what you need to do, if you want to do it, is probably, like, carve out an entire freaking level plane. And then, like, from that, maybe make, like, rooms. Maybe that's, like, the idea, is that you, like, make the entire level plane that you want. And then you detail it. So, like, you make walls from that. As wacky as that sounds. And I don't think that makes sense at all, because that leads to a lot of symmetrical stuff, and, you know, that's not exactly how Quake levels kind of look in the end result. So, that doesn't make sense at all, but it's the only way I can think of to even have, like, walls at this state. And, like, have it so we have more than one area, or so in a corridor. It's the only way to have it turn in a corridor here, people. Right? Sort of thing like that. But yeah, that'd be really horrible, and like I said, lead to a lot of wasted space that I just think would be, one, a waste, and two, would show up in the end level anyway, would show up like a nice 3D flat plane. Like, you know, this giant freaking box around the entire thing that would look really weird. But yeah, it sounds like this is like the way you'd have to do it, as weird as that sounds. Anyway, I know this has really been kind of pointless, this part, you know, it really was kind of just a closing up, show some more limitations of the engine, and try to make Q2, which we totally failed at doing. Anyway, I know this has been terrible, but we had to do it. We had to finish this up and conclude it by seeing it, and now we kind of have an idea of what THRED is about. It's terrible. Please don't ever touch it. Even the author says not to touch it. And that's in the finished version, not even this version, which is really terrible. It was a good thing for its time. It was, you know, the first one around, and it definitely makes sense in a historical perspective why it was used. But yeah, from a 2017 perspective, it's like, do I want to make a new map with THRED? The answer is pretty much, of course not. And even in 1996 or so, from the perspective of it being an editor that gives applies to my needs, and just maybe it's a bit harder to do, but it still allows me to do it. I don't even think it does that well. I think like it's very limited in certain regards. Like I said, how do you exactly create something that's heavily symmetrical, like on the same plane or something like that? That's more like you'd have to drag it, right, or something like that, and you can't even see where it is on like the number view or something like that. And like I said, the whole cannot save really kind of makes it really rough. Anyway, thank you very much all for watching. It has been the adventure, and I shall see you all for the Aftershock standalone levels, whereby we'll check out some stuff that looks about the same quality as what we did here. Ain't that amazing? Yeah! Oh boy. What lies ahead? Stay tuned and find out.